Ironheart is back with new footage and trailers. Although there's still no sighting of Slug, which I personally think is a great shame, and a huge disservice to the series. After all, the only word I can use to describe Slug would be
iconic.
And that was something that was missing from the new trailer. They've definitely stripped back on all the evil filth that was in the first one. They don't show her breaking and entering like they did.
Hello?
There's no talk of her being thieving scum.
But anyone who's ever accomplished anything iconic in life has had to do some questionable things to get it done.
You know.
Robbing, we be robbing.
Instead, there's more of a push to try and make her seem like a hero.
Break yourself down. See what you're made of. Might be a hero in there after all.
Which is weird when they don't show her doing anything heroic.
If I'm gonna protect people, I gotta start thinking outside the box.
I mean, the first trailer, that had her dancing under her stolen money. You gotta balance it out, maybe show her saving some innocent people? No. Instead, the whole trailer is me.
All the things you could have built with that big brain of yours. What? This.
Followed by making alliances with demons and using demon magic on your own suit.
Because I have to.
Might be a hero in there after all.
Nice save there, Marvel. We aimed at heroic and ended up at demonic hellspawn. It's a thin line, I can see how you missed. Like, who's a hero around here? Think of the best person that we know in Hollywood. Yeah, they're still making deals with demons, aren't they? They just put the demon spells on cars rather than kids. The problem is, this trailer tries to change the tone so much, it's a red flag. Oh, we've got a line of her saving people, but no footage of it to put in the trailer. Instead, what we end up with is, stereotypes.
My stepdad.
He's the only person I can get advice from, because the other one is still out fetching milk. And even his advice sucks. Well, at least their interpretation of it.
You say the best way to know a thing is to take it apart, put it back together.
Taking something apart and putting it together will make you learn a lot about the thing, as long as you can successfully do it. Otherwise, you've just ended up with a broken iPhone. So when her mate comes out with this advice,
You should take your dad's advice. Break yourself down. See what you're made of.
that's an awful idea. No, don't destroy yourself as a person just to see how you work. Utterly annihilating yourself into a mental breakdown is not good advice.
Might be a hero in there after all.
Put it this way, if you're a hero, you'll know because you want to help people. If you have to obliterate your mental state before you find out that you want to save that person from getting run over, you're not a hero, you're just an arsehole. It just makes my favourite bit from the first trailer seem even more apt.
You're gonna end up dead or in jail.
Yeah, hopefully. That's not even the worst bit, because the A-grade top drawer 24 karat gold came at the end of the trailer.
Riri, time to wake up, love.
It's Jasmine.
Who the hell else would it be, bitch?
Now, this is also supposed to be another creation from Ironheart. Although I have my doubts. It's probably her invention as much as the rest of the suit is.
What are you?
Your greatest creation yet.
All I'm saying is if you created it, you'd know what it was. I'm your greatest creation. Well, that's strange, because I have absolutely no idea what the fuck you are. I don't know where you came from. I don't know how you sprung into existence. You're just telling me that I made you on some kind of bender, I'm guessing. Because look, at this point, either I have a serious brain condition, or you're lying.
Bitch.
You might have a serious brain condition, too.
From someone I know within Marvel, I have been told that this is the worst thing Marvel has ever produced. It makes Echo look like LA Confidential. That is what I am told.
And that opinion is backed up when Marvel released a scene from the series.
What about these heists?
Yeah, it starts with her being thieving scum. Obviously. Look, at this point, we're just lucky she's not firebombing police cars. Acting out her favourite GTA 6 fantasies. She's not Californian.
We Ocean's 11 or The Sopranos?
Neither. You're re-looted.
Stolen? Who's stealing them?
Us. Just hoping you won't get me killed.
Yeah.
But remember, she is standing opposite the demonic hellspawn, the evil scum, you know, the person she's allied with.
Everyone you're talking about is a criminal, including you.
And so him and morality don't really mix.
Ocean's 11 or The Sopranos?
What's the difference?
Well, IQ levels for a start. And only one of them thought an entire crew of women would be a good idea. But as he does work with Mephisto and love demons, he knows the lowest dregs of society when he sees them.
I'm only doing this because I have to, not because I'm a bad
You're
person.
joking, right?
Yeah, you can be in denial all you want, love. I have facts on my side. You know, reality, where deeds matter, your actions matter, not your weird delusions, your perceptions, your twisted word games you think you can play on people in order to gain social status you don't deserve.
Everyone you're talking about is a criminal, including you.
No, I'm not.
Gotta be honest, so far it looks like Disney have made Mephisto the good guy. All these scum are virtue signaling and just beating him round the face with reality.
I'm an engineer. What I'm building is
Important?
iconic.
That clip was bad enough in the first trailer, but when you see it in the context of the scene, it's worse. He's actually being sarcastic with her. She's like, oh, I'm not a criminal, I'm just an engineer. Oh yeah, you're not a criminal because you think what you're doing is important. She's like, no, it's iconic. I'm making a fashion statement. Yes, I may have stolen everything and maybe scum and work with criminals, but I'm doing it to make something people will recognize on the streets. This is Batwoman all over again.
You're pure evil.
And you're just another man taking credit for a woman's work.
I'm not about to let a man take credit for a woman's work.
I think I'm going to get a lot of use out of this clip.
What I care about is the reality of goodness, not the perception of it. And what I see all over the place is people who care about looking good while doing evil. Hey, Bob.
Look, anyone who's ever accomplished anything iconic in life has had to do some questionable things to get it done.
Look, if you're going to go out there and get social status without actually earning it, you're gonna have to do some questionable things and be a bit of a div. Honestly, this slave of Mephisto is coming across really well. You could go out and do the hard work and save innocent people, but if you want to be iconic rather than a hero, iconic rather than doing something important, that's going to involve a lot of lies and thievery, and we're probably going to have to kill the guy that made that suit that you're going to pretend you did. After all, we saw her technical skills in the first trailer. You completely fried that electrics first thing she did.
You are not the first genius at MIT.
She's not even the first DEI hire they've had. Either he has an electrician on retainer, or he has an entire second fake electricity grid he just puts the retards on. Yes. Here's some wooden blocks. Go and play with those, dear. Yes, you're in STEM.
Before my hood, I was a nobody.
Don't worry, after this show, you still will be.
But with it, maybe a little unsavory, but yeah, I'm unstoppable.
That is a man who made a deal with a demon for power, advising our hero that if she steals enough things to make her suit, yes, she will be criminal filth, a member of the underworld, and completely morally corrupt. But at least she'll be so powerful no one can stop her being that corrupt and evil. And she can use her ill-gotten evil powers to make people think that she might actually be a good person. What is this show? And the red flags aren't just in the trailer, they're behind the scenes as well. Shia Kooley shared the first Ironheart trailer. You remember Shia, otherwise known as the Iconic Slug. That's Slug in the comics, by the way. A 1,200-pound man. I'm not touching that with a barge pole, I'd get arrested. But Shia tweeted out a story. This is so surreal. I got goosebumps watching this. I'm hella proud and grateful for my sister, one of the directors, stepping boobs first into the MCU and directing with both her heart and her clunge, except it uses less letters. And to everyone in the Gwalls group chat, I love you the most. You made my acting debut. Maybe they couldn't find a character that looked like that. They had to choose a 1,200-pound man instead. I'm breaking into Hollywood as a slug. There are other actors in Hollywood like Ironheart herself, who strangely got cast as Riri with no audition at all. That seems weird, doesn't it? If this was Robert Downey Jr., I could understand casting him for roles at this point without an audition. But Dominic's an unknown. It was even strange to her. She was just at home, got a call, and was so shocked there was considerable lag in the conversation. I was waiting for them to say, send us your sides, get your tape over to us, but there was none of that. It was just, would you like to come and do this? It was probably the most unique experience I've ever had because there was no audition at all. That doesn't seem like a good sign. That doesn't seem like you're desperately searching for the best actress for something. That seems like you had other conditions in mind. Because we have seen this before with the Acolyte.
Leslie and Lucasfilm had already developed the show around me before I even had my first meeting.
And when you look into Amandla's past, it's easy to see why.
There is this language of privilege and whiteness and wealth that had to observe and adapt to.
Amandla has a whole array of absolutely insane interviews.
Outside of the confines of heteronormativity, misogyny, and racism.
It's thug life.
Just complete, bizarre, deluded stuff.
If you tell someone that you don't see their race, you're actually discrediting their entire experience when thinking about your own privilege.
It's about more than just color. It's about black people, poor people, everybody at the bottom.
Self-interest. But it's all exactly on brand for Disney and what they want to show ideologically.
Interviews and shows where the spotlight goes, pretending life is tough when I mom in fancy clothes. Cry wolf, cry wolf.
She had all the correct beliefs and every identity box ticked, and easily walked into the job without an audition. It'd be strange if that happened again, wouldn't it? Are there any similarities here? Well, there almost wasn't when she apparently almost declined the offer, simply because she didn't want to be tied to this huge character in the MCU forever. Don't worry, 5 minutes after it's over, no one will remember it or ever talk about it ever again. So if that's what you're worried about, don't be, you're safe. You're not going to have Robert Downey Jr.'s problem where they're dragging you up 30 years later to get you in another movie. Your trailers are already getting nuked by your customer base, so I think you're safe. But when it comes to Amandla Stenberg-isms, it doesn't take long to find them. From the Vogue interview, where she says, I was absolutely obsessed with old school Hollywood movies. Well, they're clearly good then. You're definitely not going to complain about, civilization. Audrey Hepburn, Marilyn Monroe, they were a bag for a long time. But she did have a problem with them. She had a problem with the old school Hollywood vibes that she used to really like. This is coming across really like Who Hurt You? It sounds like you had a hobby that you really enjoyed, and then at some point, someone stuck some poison in there and made you not like it. You started to think, if only they would not have been so problematic. Exactly. As an actor who has become known for her almost exclusively capital B lack filmography, beginning to get an idea now why she's trashing those classic films.
Privilege.
The irony isn't lost on Thorne that the films that first shaped her taste, severely lacking in melanin. People get paid to write this stuff, it's amazing. But these days, she's mostly inspired by diverse work.
It's Thug Life.
I used to enjoy the classics, the things that have survived for decades, but now I'm a racist. It's wild. The creatives pioneering the next golden age. Yes, straight into bankruptcy. Other faces in Hollywood are now making the choice to tell stories truthfully, so they were lying before. The environment she created for herself in and out of a classroom put the capital B experience in America super heavy in her mind. When auditions did come around for Black Panther, that's unusual that you would mention audition for Black Panther when you just said you didn't have any. There was definitely a part of my mind that was more energized. I had more to say about it, a much stronger perspective than other projects that had come through the pipeline. When you get a piece of material, I feel like you can tell if the writer is thinking about whiteness.
There's this language of privilege and whiteness and wealth that had to observe and adapt to.
Yes, the racist terminology. Oh, congratulations. You're so iconic. If they are truly unauthentically open to another experience, adding depth to whatever they've written. You see, when it was just you, it was shallow. It's only deep when it adds me. Once again, another person that can't comprehend somebody else's experience. All of your work was pathetic and shallow until I arrived with my depth. I can play an evil person. Taking on meaningful capital B stories is what Thorne calls a combination of self-work meets destiny meets the right timing. In Ironheart, she's going to play a character that people have never seen. You've never seen a person who's supposed to be the smart one, the nerd, pull up and run somebody's pockets. Great. I get to see the intelligent, smart nerd be criminal scum. Whereas the benefit would be she'd be easy to defend yourself against. And I think that's beautiful. Be a thieving scum. There are so many more layers to what we're getting. Now we can be thieves. And what it looks like to be young and capital B lack from Chicago. Oh, that's so deep. Marilyn Monroe, I tell you, her movies were shallow as a duck's backside until you turned up and started being a thief. Really giving that authentic thief experience from Chicago. What even is this interview? Thorne's voice takes on an air of reverence in the charged days on set. We started not really knowing how it was going to go down. What? That's not a good time for a TV series when no one on the set knows what's happening. So we didn't know what was happening, especially when episodes were still being written as you're shooting. No wonder it was a mess. How are you supposed to film and direct episodes? If they're self-contained, that's one thing. But if it's just one long season, how are you supposed to make episodes that work towards something that you don't know what's going to happen? And they're being rushed through because they're not done, and you're going to need them next week. But by the end, it was a beautiful, beautiful I thought you were going to say mess. It was a beautiful mess, as no one had any idea what was happening. So they finished filming 4 hours before she had to catch a flight to London for the premiere, really cutting it to the bone there as well, rushing filming so it finished just in time. And I'm very, very grateful for the journey Ironheart gave me. It's my first step in the MCU. Don't worry, love, you're not gonna have to run a marathon. I'm pretty sure you can rest your feet for a bit. I don't even know what this paragraph is, so I'm just gonna read it. That's the secret. For the providence, for the divine strike of timing, there needs to be surrender. When Thorn let go of Shuri, she made space for Riri and all the roles to come. Creativity isn't something that is yours. It's a gift, a feeling, a vibe that flows through the world, says Thorn. And if it touches you at that moment, when you're able to actually do with it what it's intended for, then beautiful things happen. I would love to just make sure I'm putting myself in a position to catch those moments when they arrive. She sits back. She surrenders. What an absolute pile of twaddle. No wonder TV shows are going downhill. When people like that are the ones going, oh, this is amazing. Go on, rob another target. You're my hero.
You're actually discrediting their entire experience when thinking about your own privilege.
Shows like Ironheart aren't the cause of the problem in Hollywood. They're simply the symptom, the product of the actual people in the industry which produce that kind of crap. That's why Chris Core's comment is funny to me. Even some people on the inside know it's awful, but it's always interesting to think how high up in the company can that possibly go? Because at no point do they seem to realize, oh yeah, it's the people that are the problem, and then set about changing them. No, Disney, you're right. I'm sure the same ones that cause the problems could fix it. It's not like if they knew what the problem was, they would have never gone there in the first place. No, Disney, you're right. You earn more than me. You definitely know best. Can I get an Ironheart series too, please? And She-Hulk and Willow. Thank you. Because that's the thing for me. I win either way. And let's face it, another series of Ironheart, that's by far the funniest outcome. And so that is the one I'm hoping for. But those are just my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know down in the comments below. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe. More videos like this in the future, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.